Hello, everybody. I am so glad to be back. Um, if you guys don't know me, I used to start my videos, or I started my channel um, doing just should you play this game, should you play that game before I started doing any Let's Plays. I switched over to some Let's Play content just because I wanted to still make videos while being able to talk about games. It was just really hard to continue talking about games and having time to beat them. And so it was just getting a little complicated, but I just beat Bendy in the Ink Machine, and I'm really excited to talk about that game. So let's do what we talked about prior. So we have Bendy in the Ink Machine Double Pack. I never played the original Bendy in the Ink Machine game when it was just originally released, so let's go ahead and get into it. It says, play as Henry as he revisits the demons of his past by exploring the abandoned animation workshop of Joey Studios. Oh, it's a different language under there, so I was really confused. And then as you see, this is the double pack, so it also comes with Bendy and the Dark Revival. I'll talk about that here in just a second. So, Bendy and the Ink Machine is, there's an art style for it. It's like the old school Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse cartoons, but in a horror style. So pretty much the premise of this game is that you are, what's your name? Henry. You're Henry, and you get this letter from your old friend saying like, hey, come by to the shop and let's go ahead and talk some business. So you go into the shop, and it's a first-person horror survival. I almost said crafting, but the second game kind of does that. Game. And for me personally, it was a little difficult because I don't really play these kinds of games. I got this game on a whim, just in a moment that I was buying and pre-ordering a lot of games. I'm not really a big horror fan. Or I'm a horror fan, I love watching videos of it, but I'm not really good about playing those kinds of games. So I went ahead and got it on a whim, and I absolutely loved it. You play as Henry, who goes in to try to meet your friend to talk about some stuff, but as you go there, you realize there's some really bad things happening. There's this thing called the Ink Machine, and from my understanding, because some of it's vague, a lot of the story you learn through these like, not records, but little cassette tapes that play, and it's people recording their voices to kind of get some of the story out there. But from my understanding, your friend, so you're Henry, and your friend Joey, he did not give up on the art studio even after you left and you continued your life. He was always prototyping and writing other animations and writing more cartoons, and he was fascinated about building his own park, such as Disneyland. He wanted like his version of Disneyland, and there's so many sketches, but he's like, what can separate us from everything else? And Joey discovered the Ink Machine. And pretty much the Ink Machine can take characters and put them into the 3D world and have them walk around and talk and everything like that. The problem is Bendy is the mascot for Joey Studios is what it's called. And so that was the first one that he tried to prototype, and that was a disaster. Pretty much it was this grotesque monster looking thing, and he hunted everything else in the studios, and it was really, really bad for everybody. And you could see that a lot of other characters came to life, and they have their own backgrounds and stories as well, and you'll be able to explore those throughout the game. Now, this game is first-person puzzle horror, so a lot of the game you're just going to walk around, you're going to go to an empty room, not really know what you're doing, search around for a few things, solve a puzzle here and there, and continue on to the next room. Some of the rooms you have to go back to complete other puzzles, and later in the game, you definitely go back to like the first area and realize that it's kind of like a Metroidvania in that sense. And I really do like that. Like I said, I'm not used to these kinds of games, so it was a lot of trial and error for me. But I did like how simple it was. That's something that you have to understand as well. If you're going to play this game and you're looking for a really in-depth mechanics, you're not going to find it here. Now, if you are somebody that likes to just get into the story and really love the environment and all the things around you and not have like so much else going on behind you, that's something that's really, really good, and you can definitely get into that with this. For example, there are some sneaking sections and there are these little outposts that you can hide in to not get caught. If you do get caught, you can run away and hide in that outpost, even if the enemies see you hide in that outpost. They'll like walk up to the outpost and look directly inside, practically like through this little peephole, and then just turn around. And that might not be for everybody. That might break some immersion for some people, because they might think like, well, they clearly know I'm in here, why'd they not come and get me out of here? So if that's going to break your immersion, just know that that's going to be there. But if you're just looking for something pretty fun, pretty easy, only about 4.5, 5 hours long, then this is definitely going to be for you. With that being said, that's all I'm going to talk about the story, because the story is actually really fantastic. A lot of the characters that you meet in the story is really fantastic. The combat's really basic. You can tell that the strong suit of this game is the story. And that's pretty much it. The art style too. The art style is absolutely fantastic. Now, if you go into the first game and you absolutely love the second game, that's where I'm going to kind of do a little bit of both for this game. I didn't beat the second game, and I watched Jacksepticeye's playthrough of the first game, and even he didn't really jump into the second game because he felt the same, that it wasn't really, he heard a lot of things that it wasn't really there all the way. And that's okay. It's not for everybody. The thing that I didn't like about the second game, I was really excited. Same type of art style. Obviously, you end up back in the facility. You play as somebody different. It looks like you play, it's more of like a prequel. But they added a lot more mechanics. There's like crafting stuff that you can do. You can pick up different tools and craft things within the environment. But for me, I don't know, it just didn't grab my attention the way that the first game did. And maybe it's because I played them back to back, I lost some of the interest. But just personally, it wasn't for me. I can tell, I don't know if it was just because the first game was so unique and so different, and now the second game is just more of the first game, that it wasn't for me, but that was the case. With that being said, I will try to dive into more of the Bendy games. I know there's Bendy the Lone Wolf, which is about Boris, I believe, who is a character you meet in the first one. Then they have a new one that they're working on right now, so I'll go ahead and check those out. But for now, that is the review, guys. Please let me know what you think down below. Are you excited to play these games? Have you already played these games? Have you played the other games in the series? I would definitely love to hear your thoughts down below. Without further ado, thank you for everything, guys. Peace out.